Okay, guys. So I'm just gonna start from here. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're from. Welcome back to the 𝗖𝗛𝗔𝗚𝗟𝗦 community. So we're gonna be having an AMA session with Warden Protocol. David, how's it going? How's life? How's it going? Everything?
I'm very good, man. Thank you guys for having me. That's very nice of you. I'm excited to tell you guys and everything that makes us into what we are.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So
Can you still hear me, Ethan?
sorry, my Telegram is glitching again. So could you, David? Are you with me, David?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So could you introduce yourself and could you give us a little bit brief story behind Warden Protocol? What's the vision led to its creation, and what inspired you to build it in the first place? The journey and the idea came about, the challenges that you faced in the early stages, and what ultimately shaped Warden Protocol into what it is today.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. So, first of all, thank you guys for having me. My name is David. I have about 15 years of work experience, and I mainly worked at Uber, at Binance, and at Credo in different positions. At Binance, I was working on this intersection of product, data, and operations. And I left Binance to join or to lead the operations of a very big research and development division for a company called Credo that does custody. And we had about 20 engineers at Credo, and we explored all types of different technologies with them. We explored artificial intelligence, we explored zero-knowledge proof systems, we explored fully homomorphic encryption, multi-party computation, and it was kind of always this idea of how can we push these technologies to their limit, right? Like what's the thing that we can do with them that is changing. And while I was working there, it was the size and the opportunity of merging blockchain and AI technology together. And at the time, this was about 13 months ago, this was completely new. Nowadays, if you go to Token 2049 or something, there's hundreds of AI side events, but that wasn't like that before. So I was working on it, and for me, it was I found out pretty quickly that if you want to bring these two technologies together, then you need new infrastructure that just doesn't exist yet, right? So the inception behind Warden and what inspired its creation is this idea that blockchains aren't meant for humans. It's not meant to be used by people. It's a backend service. And we believe that agents will be the ones that are driving the next millions of transactions in the crypto ecosystem. And I left my job. I gathered the smartest people that I knew. I invested the money that we had together with my co-founders, and we've been really bootstrapping Warden ever since.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So can you walk us through how Warden Protocol actually works for those who may not be familiar with the technology. So could you break it down in a simple and easy to understand? How does Warden integrate AI with Web3, and what does it play in executing smart contracts and applications? It could be great
Yeah,
if you
so
give us an example.
Yeah, sure,
Carry
I can
on.
do that. I can do that. So I think the first thing to think about, so what's the problem that we're trying to solve, right? We want different developers, application developers in Web3 to be able to use the outputs from different ML and AI models. Like perhaps maybe there's a developer that wants to use the output of something like ChatGPT in their application. So today, this is very difficult. It's very difficult for a developer because blockchains were not meant to process AI inferences or AI outputs. Blockchains are meant to verify very simple transactions. They're not meant to verify or compute or use different AI outputs. So really the first step of our solution was, how do we get these systems to talk to each other? How do we get blockchains to speak the language of AIs? And how do we get AIs to speak the language of blockchains? And what we focused on, what we realized over the last 13 months, that if you want to do this, then you need a blockchain that's specifically built for AI. So that means this is not the Warden solution is not a general purpose platform chain. It's not an app chain. It's not an Oracle, and it's not a copy paste EVML2. So we focused on processing AI operations. This is the only thing that we do, and that's the thing that we want to be really good in. Now, our solution consists of different layers. That's typical in Web3, that different solutions are made up of different layers. And for us, this is really, we have 3 layers. We have an application layer, and this is where people can build applications with ML and AI outputs. So our hypothesis on this is that eventually all crypto applications will use some type of AI. And that's what we are enabling developers to do. So to give you an example of things that are being built on us on the application layer, is people are building agents that are very different from the types of agents that you see today. But we also see, for example, people building wallets with natural language instructions, meaning you don't need to worry about the interfaces anymore. You don't worry about the other interface. Instead, you get a ChatGPT-like interface, and you just ask it what to do. You tell it what to do, and we take care of the rest. So that's on the application layer. And of course, there will be all different types of applications that you can think about. I'm just giving you 2 as an example, but whenever an application needs, or whenever a Web3 application needs either a machine learning or an AI model output, they can use that on our chain. So that's on the application layer. The second layer that we have is our ML and AI layer. And here, this is very cool, because like I was saying, the developer or the builder that is building on us, they can use any model that they want. So this can be a machine learning model, an AI model, a large language model, a price prediction model, or a sentiment analysis model. Any model that the developer wants to use, they can do it. They could use DeepSeek, they could use ChatGPT, whatever. the cool thing here on our ML and AI layer is that this is not limited to our chain. So on the application layer, I was speaking about builders that want to build cool applications. The other segment that we could cater to is maybe you are a protocol, like maybe you are Uniswap, or maybe you are DYX, and you want to use some type of efficient, then they can get that out over us. And like that, we can start to serve 100 different chains that are connected to us. So this is very interoperable, and we can become the inference layer and the AI layer spanning different ecosystems like Cosmos and Ethereum. And then the last layer is our blockchain layer. So this is very unique to us because Ethereum or Solana, they can't process AI. They will never be able to use AI model outputs in their applications. They also weren't designed with this thought of agents doing multi-step transactions every hour. It's a very different L1 architecture altogether. But we solve that problem. So the ML and AI model output that an agent uses, for example, and we can reach consensus on it. And for this, we had to build this from the ground up with new solver and verifier nodes to create a new consensus system. And when you take all of this together, you get a layer 1 blockchain that is specifically built for applications that want to use machine learning and AI models in their application. So that's our solution in a nutshell.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, could you, so regarding the a lot of blockchain projects, are experimenting with, AI from productive analysis to Warden protocol, unique compared to other AI-powered blockchain. What specific, technical advantage or innovation, sets Warden apart from other competitors in the AI and Web3 industry?
Yeah, that's a good question. So on Warden, you can build any application that uses AI. Now, a lot of the builders that are building on us are doing so for a couple of different reasons, and I'll tell you about them. The main thing that sets us apart, and I'll give you an example of an agent. The agents and the types of applications that can be built on us today are very different from what you see today. So the agents today are not the type of agents that can be built for us. Anyone that has been on Twitter will know this. Independent. They don't control their own actions. They are usually built on some centralized framework, and usually there's some type of person behind the agent that it's pulling its strings, that is instructing it in the background. So that means that if you are a developer of this agent, you can shut this agent down, you can freeze the funds, you can stop the withdrawals, or if you want to, you can also just change the decision of the agent. A lot of them also don't really perform meaningful work. Like a lot of the agents that you see on Twitter today, usually they just chill different tokens. So that's where we are today. The people that decided to build on us are doing so because they believe agents should be something different. Decentralized and autonomous agent. And those aren't just automations and chatbots anymore. They are really self-directed entities. They have their own objectives, they have their own decision-making skills, they have their own capabilities and skills. And they live and act on our chain. We can't pause or modify them. And these agents that are being built on us, they can perform meaningful work. So they can analyze past investments, they can track real-time prices, they can forecast market movements for different assets, and they can do that with superior speed. They do this for hundreds of different assets every single minute. That's not something that even an advanced like human trader can do. And they can also perform arbitrary actions. They could place a trade on Uniswap, they could stay. And ultimately, I believe that this is the start of an agent economy, where agents can, for the first time, provide meaningful services to us, where they can hire and pay other agents. And I think that we will ultimately see the first autonomous billion-dollar company that works entirely without humans. So that's what's setting us apart.
That's fantastic. So can you tell us, like, dive us into like any partnership or collaborations that Warden Protocol has established so far? Have you teamed up with any like notable project companies, what's the word, collaborations that are helping to drive adoption and expand the ecosystem?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So we very much know that our success depends upon our community. So we've started with this very early, and a big part of this was making sure that we strike partnerships with some of the best ones that are out there. So we have over the last couple of months, we've closed several notable partnerships. We have partnered with Evmos, we are working with Axelar, we're working with Wormhole, we're working with Skip Protocol, Informal Systems, Kaif. We have very large partnerships that are coming up but are unannounced at the moment. So I would say whenever we are needing help from or whenever for things that we don't consider critical for our operations, we seek to partner. And we do that in a very modular way. Means that we can use certain modules from those companies that I mentioned, or they can use our modules. And that has been very successful. So far we have about 150,000 users on our social platforms. And a big driver of this was the partnerships that we've been announcing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So David, I just want to ask, have you guys done like anything like what's the word? Oh, give me a second. So, have you guys done like a t-shirt merchandise for your project? Because I feel like it will really be great if you guys haven't done it. I think it's a good idea to make people know that you guys actually checked your the merchandise for your project.
Yeah, I mean, we have community meetups all around the world. So we have community meetups in Germany, we had community meetups in France, we had community meetups in Turkey and Indonesia. And that's a big part of our community strategy, is to work together with our community and make sure that we listen to their feedback, that we interact with them. And that is, among others, where we are distributing merchandise. I think for us, like, the value of the community is super important. So we have community on our X channel. We have community on our Discord. We have community in our Telegrams groups. And unlike a lot of the other protocols that I see out there, everything that we do is literally go to our GitHub and you can speak to our developers. You can go to Discord, you can speak to me. We are usually in these channels, and we ask from our users that are interested in what we're doing. We actually have a product feedback channel specifically on our Discord, and whenever there's something that a user struggles with, they can speak to us there, and we actually look at those tickets each Friday, and we try to incorporate them into our product development. So we want to make sure that we work hand in hand with our community and that we get this right.
That's amazing. That's great. I like the fact that you guys really look forward in the future for the project, because a lot of people, when they make this project come to life, they don't have mainly looking at the project, you just know that the project is not going to last, because first of all, you check out the logo, you check out the people there. A lot of people don't even like showing their face on a lot of different partnership and collaborations and VCs and stuff like that. So a lot of people don't do that, so it's kind of like less trusting for people to look into the project and stuff like that. So that's really amazing. I like the fact that you guys are really open and transparent to everyone and everybody else. So what's like the next Warden? The community is always excited to hearing about the upcoming development. So could you share us some insight into what's on the horizon? Are there like any major updates, new features, or like significant milestones that we should be looking for, looking forward to in the nearest future? So additionally, to add to that, it would be great to get like a glimpse of the broader roadmap on how you guys see Warden Protocol evolving in the long run, and what are like the key goals you're working towards. Any hints about like the future collaboration, expansion, and innovation?
Yeah, I can do that. So I mean, in terms of maybe to echo what you were saying, we are real people behind this, and we're doing this completely in the open. So it's on X, whether it's on Telegram, whether it's on Discord, whether it's on GitHub. We're working behind this, and there's a whole team of us working behind it. So in terms of what the community can expect in the near future from us, I mean, I believe that the ML and AI economy will happen on our chain. And for me, that means it's quite clear to me. I don't think agents will go to a bank and present their credentials and open a bank account. They're not going to go through KYC and AML and pass PCI checks to use Stripe. They're also not going to sign like paper contracts when they want to work with each other. So our chain will become a machine-to-machine economy. And that means that this is an AI-friendly and agent-native environment. And on our chain, these applications will have their own identity. They will be able to interact with any protocol in a permissionless and open way. They will natively work with other agents together. And so we're creating an economy where these agents and these applications can collaborate, communicate, where they can earn and where they can pay each other. Now, that means specifically that the community can see a couple of different things. First, there will be lots of more applications that use ML and AI being built on us. We're already seeing today teams that are starting to build natural language enabled wallets, that are building AI enabled automated market makers, that are building applications that really use ML and AI. The second thing that people can expect from us is we will be launching more AI agents. There will be more people launching AI agents. Just in the last hackathon that we had 2 weeks ago, we had teams that were using DeepSeek to drive investment decisions in DeFi. So we will see more agents being launched on us. The third thing that people can see, will be able to see, is we will aggressively push to get a larger piece of the market in the developer ecosystem. Something that we've been doing on an ongoing basis. We have regularly recurring hackathons taking place. And I think that we're already seeing that today, that a lot of builders are demanding this from us. They want to take this further. And then the last thing that I think people can expect to see is large partnerships taking place. I'm not going to disclose who they are simply because we haven't signed them just yet, but you can rest assured that we have a pipeline of pretty reputable partnerships that we're about to announce that people can expect from us.
That's amazing. So could you tell us like what you guys, like your project, are really facing, like the problems you guys are really facing, the challenges that you guys are really facing in the system, in the ecosystem? So Warden didn't, if AI driven, if AI driven execution network like Warden didn't, what challenges would Web3 still be facing? What efficiencies, security risk, or bottleneck would developers and users have to deal with in the world without AI and smart contract execution as well?
Yeah, sure. I can take that. That's a good question. I mean, in terms of, maybe I can start like what are the challenges that we are facing? So we want builders to be able to use different models like ChatGPT in their Web3 application so that they can build new types of apps. But this is very challenging for anyone. And the main thing that's challenging is that blockchains, Ethereum or Solana or any other blockchain, it's not what they are meant to do. They're not meant to verify inputs. It's not what they were designed for. Today, blockchains verify very simple transactions. They don't verify this heavy compute ML and AI computations. So more specifically, blockchains can't talk to machine learning models. Blockchains can't reach consensus on the responses that these models are giving you. They can't run these inferences. And they also can't check whether the inference or whether the output from the model, whether what ChatGPT is saying is reliable or accurate. So that's our biggest challenge, is trying to get blockchains to talk the language of AI and trying to get AIs to talk the language of blockchains. Now, what does this mean for people and applications? Anyone that has been in Web3 will know that if you are new to it, it's nearly impossible to get comfortable with it. There are a lot of different networks. There are a lot of different means to pay gas. You have network switches, you get rugged, you need to bridge different assets from A to B. Anyone that has been in crypto for a while will know that the user experience for people coming into this space is incredibly difficult. So AI can help solve this, for example. With AI, you can express what you want to do in your own language. You can express it in AI taking care of the operation that you want to do. For example, I could record a voice note and say, please buy a meme. I could record a voice note that says, find the best trending meme coin on Solana and then buy it for me. I don't even need to go to an interface anymore. I can do that on the application itself. The rest of it is taken care by the AI for me. And that's the type of experience that we can enable. It's promising a new way to interact with DeFi.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, one of the biggest concerns with AI execution in the Web3 is reliable and trust, which is totally normal. So, traditional smart contracts are, deterministic. They execute exactly as written, with no room for, expected behavior. However, AI introduce a level of adaptive decision making, which can be like powerful and also unpredictable. So, how does Warden Protocol ensure that its AI driven execution remains reliable, consistent, and resistant to manipulation? What measure are in place to prevent AI from making biased decisions when handling blockchain transactions?
Yeah, so I can speak about this. It's a good topic. So anyone that has used AI, if you've maybe used ChatGPT or something, you will know a lot of AI models make mistakes. A lot of them are not reliable. In fact, a lot of them are very good at talking bullshit, but making it sound very convincing. Now, what does this mean for an application? It means that if you trust an agent with, for example, your money or your assets, and you're asking it to make an investment decision for you, it will mean that this agent will make mistakes. And those mistakes can cause you to lose money. So we feel very strongly that an agent needs to know whether it is about to make a good decision or a bad decision. And you need to be able, or you need infrastructure to help answer this question. Now, importantly here is there is no crystal ball that we have. There's no crystal ball that magically tells you this is what an AI is saying is correct or not. If we had this, you wouldn't need AI. You would just know all of the answers already. So we cannot tell you what the future will hold. But what we can do is we can look to the past and we can analyze how often an AI has made a right or wrong decision. And like that, you can start to build up a distribution, and you can start to say, hey, in 9 out of 10 times, this model, this AI made a correct prediction, made a wrong decision. And like that, you can know whether in the future, or you can create, you can make up your opinion, whether then you trust that this model will make the right decision in the future or whether it won't. So that is how you can solve the question of reliability and making sure whether a model makes the right decision or not.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. I just wanted to confirm. So we're gonna go to the community question now. So guys, please don't forget to follow them on their socials and see what they've been doing and all that. So Michael, I see Michael, your mic is. Go ahead and speak now. Michael, are you there? Michael, are you there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, sure, we can hear you.
All right. My question is what safeguards are put in place to catch and fix AI mistakes or unfair decisions? I hope you got me.
Yeah, sure. So the question is, what type of system do we have in place to prevent AIs from making bad decisions? What we can do is the system that we have in place relies on mathematics and statistics. So before I start, we will never be able to tell you with full confidence whether an AI will make a mistake or not. That doesn't exist. And anyone that tells you that they have this is lying. Now, what you can do is you can reason statistically and mathematically about how many mistakes a model has made in the past. So you can say, hey, on average, in the past, this model was right 90% of the times and 10% of the times it was wrong. And then you can decide whether you think you want to trust that model or whether you don't. So that's the type of decision support that we can give you in making sure whether a model is right or wrong.
Thank you. So, can I go to another question? My second question is, how does Warden keep AI results safe from changes while still allowing them to improve?
Sorry, what was that question? I didn't hear it.
Okay. I said, how does Warden keep AI results safe from changes while still allowing them to improve?
Yeah. Okay. So how do we make sure that these results are safe? So this is a very interesting question as well. Thank you, Michael. Like at the moment, right? If you are on Twitter, maybe you have seen a couple of these agents posting tweets, but there's a lot of things that are unsafe about these agents. And for anyone that's listening, I mean, even if you don't I would advise anyone at the moment to be careful when you are interacting with these. The reason why I say this is there's a lot of open security questions that are not answered yet. For example, I'll give you a couple of examples. When you are speaking to an agent, how do you know whether you're actually speaking to this agent? How do you know that I'm not, or how do you know that I'm not overriding the decision of the agent? How do you know whether you're speaking to the real AI XPT right now? Or how do you know whether this agent is using the model that is reliable or whether it's a model that I faked? So there's a lot of different ways to create rug pulls and scams with agents at the moment. And that's why whatever you do, even if you don't like Warden, be careful when you are interacting with these. Now, I believe if you want to solve these, then you need new type of infrastructure. And some of this we've built. So you need to be able to verify these things rather than trusting them blindly. And with our infrastructure, you can, for example, verify that who you are speaking to is the right agent. You can verify that mention, and that doesn't solve every possible problem, but it solves a lot of them already. So that's how we are making sure that the agents are safe.
So hope that clarify your question, Michael.
It does. Thank you.
Okay, so I see Victoria. Victoria, your mic is unmuted. You can go ahead and speak now.
Hello, everyone. Hope I'm clear. Hope I'm audible. My question is this. Could you share a bit about your roadmap?
Yeah, sure. So I think in a nutshell on our roadmap,
sorry, David. I think she got cut off.
Okay.
Question.
Maybe we can wait for her to rejoin and we can take another question in between while she's rejoining.
Can you hear me now? Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Could you share a bit about your roadmap?
Yeah. So, I mean, in a nutshell, I think that there will. Yeah, I can do that. So I'd be happy to. So there's a couple of things on our roadmap that are very exciting. So I think the first thing on our roadmap is you will see builders building a lot more applications on us that use ML or machine learning and artificial intelligence models. And that means that you will see a new category of applications that are being developed, applications that look and feel a bit more like ChatGPT, but they can interact with anything that can be done in Web3. So that's number one. The second thing is you will see, simply because people are already building it, but you will see a lot more builders building AI agents on us. And those agents will be able to perform complicated tasks for you. We already had builders building, for example, trading agents with DeepSeek on us. So you will see a lot more application developers building cool new agents on us. The third thing that you will see is we have a very full partnership pipeline of very big partners that we are yet to announce. And you will see this impacting our developer ecosystem growth. So I think that that's what you can expect from us in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the clarification. Thank you.
I think it's a network problem. So I'll just give the mic to James. James, your mic is unmuted. You can go ahead and speak now.
Am I audible? Hey, David.
Hey, Jordan.
Hey, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that earlier. I was just having some slight issues with my phone, but it's all right now. So basically, my question is, concerning the AI verification services. I just wanted to know if you can tell us more about the pricing structure, the fees and stuff like that, and how is it cost efficient to maintain?
Yeah, that's a good question. I can take that. So we thought about this a lot, right? Like how can you make this in a way so that it really drives demand for our own token? So Warden is the native token of Warden Protocol, and it's quite simple actually. The more protocols and developers use different ML AI models, the higher the. So if you make a request, every request to a model, like every time someone wants to use something like ChatGPT in their application or for anything else, this is paid in Ward. So developers, protocols, and builders, they need to have Ward to be able to get this. And it was very important to us to just have a single token handling the entire pipeline from the time that the model is being used all the way to it being used in a real application. That's all handled with one single token. And that's Ward. So that's, in a nutshell, that's how we make it sustainable.
Thank you so much for the answer to my question. I really appreciate it. And
thank you so much.
For
Okay, so I got questions from the community on the chat from Stephen. So Stephen says, in order to understand the reward challenge that led to the development of the protocol, what specific problem or gap in the market does Warden Protocol aim to address?
That's quite straightforward actually. If you are a builder today and you are in Web3, you can't use ML and AI. That's actually the reason why a lot of the experience in Web3 is so clunky and why it's so complicated to use. So this is very different from Web2. When you look at Uber, when you look at the biggest players in Web2, all of them use machine learning and artificial intelligence. But when you look in Web3, and you look at the biggest ones in Web3, Uniswap, Aave, Compound, whatever, none of them use machine learning and artificial intelligence. Why is that? Because it's difficult, it's really difficult to be able to use the outputs of a model in a smart contract. So that's what we are enabling. That's what led to the development of Warden, was builders coming to us saying, hey, David, how can I want to use ChatGPT, or I want to use DeepSeek or any other type of AI model in my application. How can you make this happen? So that's what inspired the creation of it. That's the real world feedback that drove the creation of Warden.
Okay, so I'm gonna give the mic to Joy. I omitted Joy, so Joy, you can speak now.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going?
Hello.
Okay. My question is, how does Warden ensure that AI-driven execution remains secure and resistant to vulnerabilities like adversarial attacks or unintended biases?
Yeah, I think that if you want to make sure, there's really like two things that I mentioned. One is you need to be able to reason, and you need to be able to say whether a model is about to make a right decision or a wrong decision. And you can't do that unless you know how this model has performed in the past. Like, for example, maybe an agent wants to predict the price of Bitcoin, and an agent wants to use this model. Now, this agent needs to know whether this model that is predicting the price of Bitcoin is making a good job or a bad job. And it can only know that if it knows whether in the past this model was successful in making these predictions or it wasn't. So what you can do is, for example, you can say, hey, historically, how often did the model predict the price of Bitcoin correctly? You can check that, and how often did it make a mistake? So the way to keep this safe is by checking how well has a model performed in the past. And then you can say, I have a degree of error or some type of confidence in the model that this agent is using now. So that's how you can assess this.
Okay, thank you. I have one more question.
Oh, sorry, Joy. Sorry, Joy. We don't have enough time for that. You can drop the question on his chat or on the community comment session.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
So I got a question from Sophia on the comment section as well. So Sophia said, my question is, what mechanisms are in place to ensure long-term sustainability and value of Warden Protocol tokens?
So how do we make this like sustainable? I think that if you are like me, then my hypothesis is that ultimately every application that we see in Web3 will use some type of machine learning and AI model in the background. If you are using Spotify today, that's using ML and AI. If you're using PayPal, that's using ML and AI. If you're using Netflix, ML and AI, Google, ML and AI. So I think that this is what will happen in Web3 as well. We will see different types of applications in Web3 starting to use ML and AI. Now, how do we make this sustainable? For us, it was important that when these models or when these companies are using machine learning and artificial intelligence models, that the value of this accrues. And the more protocols and developers use different models, the higher the demand is for our token. It's very simple. If you are a protocol or a developer, you need to buy a ward in order to use these models, else you can't. And every request, every time you are asking ChatGPT or you're asking a model for something, you need to pay in ward. You need to pay a small fee to us. And that's how we handle the sustainability of it. And that's how we make sure that value accrues to our token.
Hope that clarifies your question. So, James, okay.
Can I clarify my question?
Hey, James, could you adjust your mic?
All right, am I audible now?
Perfect.
All right. My question is a bit simple. I just want to know if you guys have any a video tutorial video that you can give to the community, so that those who are not here, in case you want to bring in more people into Warden, I just want to know if there's any a tutorial video to know what you guys are building, because
yeah. So
a lot of people are not
I think definitely, we have a lot of this. I think that the first thing that I would mention is make sure to follow us on Telegram, on X, on our Discord. We often have giveaways there as well. And what I would recommend is we have have a docs site under docs with videos and tutorials that explain exactly what we are and what we're doing. And there you can find this type of information and these types of videos. So that's what we have, and I would really highly recommend that you check that out. And yeah, so definitely we have it.
I find that I appreciate it. Time is up, and I have more questions. I'll send it to your DM if I have any other issues. I'll send it to your DM due to time.
Definitely.
I appreciate the fact. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you, Crypto Joker, for your question. It was amazing. So this is going to be the end of the session. It's past 1 hour now. So David, is there like any closing statements you would before we end up the session?
No, other than thank you guys for having me. I really loved it. If you liked what I said, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available. Make sure to follow us if you like what I said. And I hope to be back soon.
Hopefully. So this is going to be the end of the session, guys. It was amazing. The session was really impactful. I hope you guys learned a lot. Don't forget to follow them on the socials again, and probably grab a bag as well on your way. So we're going to be hosting a lot of AI projects, Web3 project in the around the week, probably Wednesday, tomorrow or Thursday, and then a scheduled one for Friday, guys. So stay tuned. It's gonna be amazing this week. And see you guys. Stay safe, guys.
Bye-bye. Take care.